MERCS Recon is the latest addition to the MERCS universe by Megacon Games, a setting where corporations have taken over and soldiers called MERCS help ensure corporate victory. In a setting with so many loyal fans, does MERCS Recon do justice to the setting, or is it better left to the lost margin? Find out when Snap2Cover reviews MERCS Recon Counter Threat. Hey guys, Tobin here from Snap2Cover.com. MERCS Recon is a co-op board game for 1 to 5 players where you take on the role of a MERC squad. In the counter threat box, you can choose to play as either the EU or the CCC. Your goal is to infiltrate an enemy office building and complete your assigned mission. In the box, you're going to get 20 plastic miniatures, a 16-page full-color rulebook, dice, cards, tokens, and tiles. The game is built from the ground up with replay in mind. Each time you play, you'll make an office using the included tiles, which fit nicely inside of a cardboard frame. Your objective each game will change, but they run the gambit of gathering intel, assassinating a high-ranking administrator, and the overall destruction of the office. Combat in MERCS Recon is simplistic. You roll a number of dice based on your selected attack, and count up the number of burst icons. The defender then gets to roll a number of black dice equal to the armor that they currently have, and reduce the damage taken by the number of shields rolled. This keeps the game moving instead of getting bogged down in math. There's much more to do than just combat though. Other actions such as capture and interrogate add a roleplay feel to the game. The game's timing mechanic is very nice and it adapts to your playstyle. The more aggressive you are, the faster the game is going to be and the harder the game is going to be. If you're slow and methodical, you're going to get a slow and more methodical game. In MERCS Recon, there is no player-driven game master. The game controls the enemy's actions and it does a great job of it. It makes for some very intense situations, especially as more powerful enemies start to spawn. One unique aspect of MERCS Recon is its breach and clear event. This is a mini-game that turns the intense action of clearing a room into a dice race. Gameplay in MERCS Recon is where the game shines. Simplistic mechanics allow players to focus on what they want to do and not on how to do it. Each round starts with colored blips randomly moving around the game board. This is a nerve-wracking point as you don't know what they are until they pop into line of sight. Is this going to be a worker or will it be a security guard? Fun part is no one knows, and that adds a lot of tension. The AI built into the Op4 phase is brilliant. Workers will try to flee or they'll cower if there's more of you than Op4 in the area. And security guards will move to eliminate you. Tougher enemies will do their best to maximize cover and damage, and the hallways are tight, and that adds a sort of claustrophobic notion to the game. There were many games where we got ourselves boxed into a corridor and had to really work as a team to fight our way out of it. Most missions we played involved a breach and clear event. This quick mini game is a nice dice race. You basically try to do more damage than the enemy. Many times we rolled poor and ended up leaving the room nearly dead. This makes the last part of the game where you're trying to escape rather difficult if you fail to do the breach and clear event effectively. There are objectives in the game that you can interact with, and these benefit your team. These include robotics arms that allow your teammates to gain health, and a weapon rack that allows your squad member in the first slot to re-roll during the breach and clear event. This adds a lot of depth. Do you risk a breach and clear to get one of these power-ups, or do you skip them and go right for the main objective? This game constantly makes your friends debate risk and reward. The best part about MERCS Recon is the immense replay value. The office gets set up differently each time, and the mission will change. The blips will move differently. All of this makes the game it feels very different each time you play. Add to this 2 different Megacons, and you've got years of replay value just out of the counter threat box. EU and CCC are a great pairing in the counter threat box. EU offers a very tactical, slow-paced style of gameplay. You'll be stacking corners to maximize on your corporate ability of added dice. They'll also be taking more care for your objective selection due to your lower damage output. EU have a lower amount of black dice, so you do less damage to the office, meaning you're more than likely to have a lower security track. CCC, on the other hand, are the complete opposite. They're all about running and gunning and banging out a path. Flamethrower and the auto shotgun mean you're going to be chewing up the office in no time. They throw a lot of black dice. Your biggest challenge with them is not destroying the objective you're trying to get when you're inside the breach and clear phase. If you like a fast-paced game, I highly suggest playing your first game as CCC, and if you like a slower, more tactical, methodical game, go with EU. Presentation, it's a little bit of hit and a little bit of miss. The miniatures in Global Threat are great. Fantastic sculpts and good hard plastic. Models have Tetra-shaped pegs to help you put them together, but you will need a little bit of glue to hold them in place. These are by far easier to put together than the metal Merc models. Artwork on these pieces is impressive, which is kind of a staple for any of the Megacon game products. Unfortunately, things fall apart on the manufacturing level. Things like miscolored pieces and dice distract from what could have been a nearly perfect game. On color, we found that blues and reds tended to shift to purple hues. This made telling certain counters apart difficult. After the dice just don't stand up to what they could have been. The embossed symbols aren't crisp and they feel cheap. This stark contrast to the beautiful dice that were on display at Gen Con last year, as well as the dice in Megacon Games' Recon. This was by far the biggest disappointment for me. I also found that the tiles tend to bow a little bit after a few uses. This is due to the way the inner box is laid out. There's support pieces on the sides, but there's nothing in the middle to offer support to help keep those tiles flat. Despite some flaws and failed expectations in production, the gameplay in MERCS Recon Counter-Threat is incredible. It plays like a mix of Zombicide and Star Wars X-Wing. Super simple, very collaborative, and plenty of replay value. I could have given this game a score in the high 9s, but the production quality just isn't there. An amazing gameplay element and tons of replay value are really what saved this game. Hopefully Megacon Games can work things out with manufacturing, as it's really the only thing that stopped this game from being one of the best games of 2016. It has definitely beaten out Zombicide as my favorite board game. Overall, Snap2Cover gives MERCS Recon Counter-Threat a score of 8.3 out of 10. Alright, well that's it. What did you guys think of the score? 8.3 out of 10? Do you agree with it? Do you think it was too high, too low? Let us know in the comments below. And if you have MERCS Recon, what are you thinking of it? We're going to be doing a unboxing and a review of the Assassination Protocol coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down, but let us know why in the comments. We're striving to make these videos better for you guys. As well, I'm going to leave a link down below. I'm currently doing a beard growing competition for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I'd appreciate any kind of support you guys can throw. 25 cents, a buck, anything helps. We're going to raise some money. We're going to help some kids that really deserve it. So visit that link down below. I would really appreciate you guys helping out with that. But until next time, guys, always snap to cover. Office buildings, you got a 4 square there. This one's a little 2-person barracks. So again, nice. We got some more here. Look at that, great artwork. And so you'll see on these, you'll have the rings, and so those help determine the movement. You've got an orange side here, and then you've got a white side here, and that'll